Hello and welcome students for the portion for half yearly examination 2020. This is for grade 10 and for the subject English literature and language. The subject is for 100 marks where 80 marks is for the written examination and 20 marks are for internal assessments. We are going to discuss both separately. Let us begin with the portion for the written examination, where the first part is for the reading section. There are 20 MCQ questions, it's unseen reading passages, and multiple choice questions will be given. The vocabulary meaning questions will be given or contextual questions will be given. Then we have writing for 10 marks, letter writing, placing an order, inquiry, letter to the editor, informal letter, dialogue completion, expressions were based on MCQs, paragraph writing, place, that is person, place, object and event. Kindly add that story writing is also a part of it as per the revised portion. So story writing is definitely there in the examination. Grammar is for 10 marks, word forms as nouns and verbs, nominalization, reporting verbs, different ways of saying said, article subject verb agreement, determiners, homophones, compound words. Workbook unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, all the additional practices done in the notebook or the textbook or the PDF version that we have used. For literature, it is for 40 marks. Kindly make a note of it that 10 marks will be for where prose will be given and MCQs will be asked based on the prose, and the remaining 30 marks are for subjective writing. From your book First Flight, A Letter to God by G.L. Fontes, Dust of Snow by Robert Frost, Fire and Ice, Robert Frost, Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, A Tiger in the Zoo, Animals, Two Stories About Flying, His First Flight and Black Aeroplane, Glimpses of India, all the three parts that we have done in Glimpses of India. Then from Footprints Without Feet, The Making of a Scientist, The Necklace and The Hack Driver. All the exercises done during the class and all the work done in the notebook, workbook, all the worksheets and resource material shared with the students. Kindly make sure that in a sentence structure you have determiner, you have a subject, you have predicate, you have subject verb agreement, you have preposition, you have phrasal verbs, you have the object of a sentence. Kindly ensure that when you are given a editing for omission and corrections or for editing for missing word, you should be aware of each part of speech including the preposition as well, because the CBSE has very clearly mentioned that all the grammar should be dealt. Now coming to the assessment, the internal assessment, which is for 20 marks, 5 marks for notebook, 5 marks for speaking and listening and 10 marks for your periodic assessment, which has already been conducted. Explaining the speaking and listening to you. The speaking and listening is pair based, where the objective is taking turns. The topic is pandemic. One person will introduce himself, speak on the topic, and person B will listen very carefully and at the end of the speech pose a question based on person A's speech, and person A will respond to that question. Then person B will introduce himself or herself and deliver the speech. Person A will be listening very careful to the speech, and person B then person A will pose a question, person B will respond to the question, and then both will say thank you and wind up the conversation. This is the speaking and listening assessment. Coming to the project on pandemic, the video is already uploaded by the title Project Reflections on Pandemic. Four submissions have taken place during week 1, week 2, week 3 and week 4. That was the final submission of part 1. If you have not submitted it already, kindly go refer the video and submit that assignment as well. This assignment will be rated within the notebook submissions. All the best for your examination and thank you for listening to me.